We're here live in New York City for the Life Mod podcast with Dr. Gonzalez. Once again, last week's show was great. I really had a good time talking about the allergies and how they impact us, and possibly, reason why we're not losing weight is because we're eating something that we're allergic to. And you really taught me something interesting where there's different classifications.
Right.
And a class 1 allergy would not necessarily impact me in my day-to-day level. I wouldn't feel like I'm allergic to something. I wouldn't, my lips wouldn't swell up, or I wouldn't break out in hives, but it's impacting you in a different way.
Right.
And I want to focus on this a little bit, and I don't want to focus on the weight gain and the weight loss aspect of this, but let's talk about your day-to-day well-being.
Right.
I have a couple food allergies. I'm allergic to strawberries, for example. If I have over 8 strawberries, and this shows you how broad this is, right?
Right?
If I have over 8 strawberries, my lips will start tingling. If I have over 13 strawberries, it'll blow up.
Right.
I've discovered this when I was a child because I realized something was happening. So I'm like, let's see how far I could push this. Strawberries, I have some other smaller allergies, but they're noticeable allergies.
I love that you can count them, and it's like the after the 8th one.
I was 9 years old. I sat down and I had 8 strawberries, and I felt a little funny, and I'm like, okay. I got better the following week. I'm like, how much more can I eat?
Right.
And every day I ate 1 extra strawberry.
Wow.
To see what happens.
And do you eat them now?
Yeah, 1.
Okay, so the
I'll
one's
have
okay.
1. I'll have 2.
So this is interesting because we're gonna do your blood work and we're gonna do your allergy food
Imagine
panel.
if I'm crazy and I'm not allergic to it.
Right. Well, we'll tell the whole audience ship here, but I'm very excited because we do test for strawberries, and we'll see how you might have a really low class allergy, like a 1 or a 2,
Sure.
And so it's additive, obviously.
And I have a really good friend, and she was a fitness model at one point. And she's very healthy. She works out. She exercises. I mean, she does everything. But she's allergic to everything. She can't have uncooked vegetables. If it's uncooked, she'll break out in hives.
Wow, yeah.
She can't
It's
have
really
any
sad.
kind of extra seasoning. She'll break out. She's essentially allergic to everything except for air and oatmeal.
Nice.
And water. I mean, luckily. So for her, it's a struggle on a daily basis, and the doctors have not been able to fix this.
Right.
And they've come up with different ideas and different theories on what's causing this, but it's a difficult life to live when you're at that extreme. When you're at the level where you're not really noticing it physically, you may be getting impacted by these allergies mentally.
You definitely are.
The way you feel when you wake up, the way you feel at work. Are you tired? Are you groggy? A lot of people attribute this to age. And as an anti-aging doctor, and what you do here at LifeMod is anti-aging, part of that goes with how you feel overall.
Yep.
Maybe I need hormone replacement. Maybe I need testosterone. Or my problem is my diet.
Correct.
So give me some examples for the viewership at home. This is a short clip we're putting on YouTube right now. But give me some examples of just how you feel and what is happening to you, and at what point do you say, maybe I should go get an allergy test.
Right.
Maybe this isn't because maybe I'm a little overworked or I've been stressed at work. Maybe it's something else that's causing this. Is there any tips you could give the audience that maybe they're feeling this way? Which I know, I'm sure plenty of people listening to this, the hundreds or thousands of people that are downloading this at this moment, they're probably feeling tired or they're feeling sluggish. Or
right.
What are steps that they could take? Other than coming to LifeMod, obviously, but how do they get to that point, and how do they discover that there may be something wrong?
Right. So again, for those of you who are following us, you know that we are very big on being mindful eaters. Right. That's what I call it. And everything that you put into your mouth is going to, that old adage of "you are what you eat."
Sure.
You really are. And so. No one now knows when you go eat. For example, I just had lunch. I mean, of course, I'm very in tune to this because I'm life mod. But I just had lunch and I ate grilled octopus in a pea soup salad.
That sounds
delicious. It was
delicious.
actually very good in a local restaurant here. But I was very mindful of eating that, where that came from. I know that because I know the restaurant very well. But most people don't do that. You go, you eat, you're hurried, you're just shoving stuff in your mouth. And if you are a person who has any kind of allergy, even if it's a class 1, if you remember last week we talked about class 1 through 7, and 1 or 2 or 3 might not give you that bloating feeling or you turn red. 1, 2, and 3, you don't really feel anything right away after you eat the food, but you will continuously increase inflammation in your body because your body is allergic to that type of food. Here's a really good example. Let's say we're going to do your blood work, as we said, the allergy panel. Let's say you're allergic to you're allergic to strawberries. Let's just use wheat bread, for example.
Okay.
And you've always heard on TV that wheat bread is good for you.
Yeah.
You should substitute wheat bread for white bread. Wheat bread is good. You should have wheat bread toast. You should do wheat bread in the morning. Whatever. Yeah. You hear this because we're infiltrated with this all the time. Let's say you have a class 2 or 3 allergy to wheat. You don't know that until we know for sure, until we do your allergy panel. And so if you have a class 2 or 3 allergy to wheat, every single time you eat wheat, you're causing an inflammatory response in your stomach. That inflammatory response is not immediately giving you any symptoms, but over the course of days and weeks and months and years, you are not metabolizing well. You have a constant inflammatory response going on in your stomach every time you eat wheat bread, and that's not doing any good for you at all. From a longevity standpoint, you're actually decreasing your years. Think about that. Yeah. And then you come and you're like, well, yeah, I'm tired every day. I'm just like groggy.
I'm achy.
Yeah. I don't feel well. And a lot of that has to do with your food, but you didn't know. So, you can go to any doctor and actually ask for your food allergy panel. I think it's important to do. You certainly, that's one way of finding out. You were asking how to find out, but we have to be completely mindful of what we're eating. And if you don't know what foods you digest better and will metabolize worse, then how are you going to be at optimum health?
Yeah, I'm going to give an example, and I'm going to be a little vague because I know that this person listens to the show, and she sent me an email. It's a friend of mine, and when she was about 31, 32, she couldn't get out of bed. Everything hurt every day. And this was someone that was active. She wasn't overweight. She was very social. She had a very good job, and it was just a struggle for her to get up every morning. And she went from doctor to doctor. Nobody could determine what it was. They gave her every possible test, and a doctor said that she had fibromyalgia. Mm-hmm. She was diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
Diagnosis of exclusion, by the way.
Yes. So, and it's broad. It could be anything. I mean, am I wrong when I say it's a diagnosis when it could be, there's many factors to what is causing this pain.
Right.
And the pain is real. And
right.
And I know she was suffering. I mean, and it caused depression. It caused a lot of, she got an allergy test. And she discovered that there was a plethora of things that she was putting in her body that was causing this to happen. Now, it wasn't overnight. The changes weren't overnight. But within a couple of weeks, she started feeling much better. And I don't know exactly what she cut out, which I should actually get her to call into the show.
That would be
should
fantastic.
come in one day because it was eye-opening to me when she said that. She goes, I changed a lot of stuff, and a lot of people, they say eat organic, eat non-GMO, and eat all this, but besides that, I was allergic to this, and this. And I had no idea, and they were just everyday foods.
Right.
Everyday things.
Right.
There were carbs, like one thing was she couldn't have a lot of carbs. And what would she do every night? She would make pasta because she's Italian.
Right.
So every night she ate pasta, every night. And the thing that baffled her was that she did this at a young age. Right. So her diet never really changed from the time that she was a child. This became a thing later on in life. And that's also something that happens. Yeah, you could have ate this when you were, 15, 16, 17, even in your 20s, but your body changes over time.
Right. Right. It not only changes, but I think it's an additive thing, right? So for the longest time, she was, one of the things we always talk about as a human design, we're very adaptive. Look, I'm not foolish, and I'm not gonna admit that we are adaptive.
Sure.
Human beings can adapt to certain conditions. And so what happened with your friend probably was that for the longest time, she was constantly adapting, right?
Yeah.
She was like, okay, we're going to adapt to this food. We're going to adapt to this. But additive from 1 month to 6 months to years and years of eating stuff that doesn't digest and metabolize well in your own system because of your own uniqueness has caused this conclusion of, aches and pains. I see that all the time. You should have her call into the show because
Yeah.
it would be very eye-opening. For those of you out there who are listening, think about, would it surprise you with the following statements? Think about this. The food that you eat has everything to do with your health. So people don't really understand that, right? Part of being healthy, I think about 80% is actually nutrition and the 20% is fitness. Of course, I disagree with that. That's just the normal. That's what everybody thinks. I say it's more, there's a lot of spiritual and mental thing in there, mindfulness. But if you look at this, the foods that you eat and put into your mouth on a daily basis are contributing to, are you tired in the morning? Do you peter out after 8 hours of working at the office? At 1 o'clock, do you start yawning because you're tired?
Yeah. What's causing that?
Yeah, exactly. That's
and we've kind of made it okay. What do they like? You fall. You crash at 2, 3 in the morning. So what do? You take a 5-hour energy drink or you drink your coffee.
Horrible.
And you should not be crashing at 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Andrew, you should not be crashing at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. That's the beautiful thing about this is that...
if you woke up at 4 or 3 and you worked a 12-hour shift, yeah, absolutely. Listen, there are people that work 14, 15 hours and they have hard physical jobs. I have plenty of friends that work in offices. They get in at 9 and at 1, 2 o'clock, they're done.
Right. But normally we're not supposed to be crashing. We are an amazingly built machine. We really are. Think about it.
Very efficient.
We are an efficient machine the way we were created, back to the human design we always talk about. So we're not supposed to be petering out at 2 or 3 in the afternoon on a normal day. We just are not supposed to. And we're not supposed to feel tired. And we're not supposed to wake up at 2 in the morning and be like, I can't go back to sleep. That's not how our body is supposed to work. When I will tell you this. If you are not sleeping through the night, and if you're not feeling completely energetic every single day, and if you're not going through your life without any fatigue and all that stuff, you are not healthy. There's something that you're doing. Wrong. There's something that you're doing. And the first thing that we always do at LifeMod is to go back at what you put into your mouth, because what you are, what you put into your mouth. Think about you. I don't know what kind of car you drive, but let's say you have a Mercedes-Benz, where they tell you to put just super unleaded on that car. Yeah. If you don't put super unleaded in that car and just put regular, it's not going to run well. And that's what we're doing to our bodies every single day.
So why has, I guess, media culture, why have they made it okay that, you feel groggy in the afternoon, like you've seen the commercial, have a Snickers, you feel groggy, have a Snickers, or take a 5-hour energy.
No, that's a healthful tip.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
Jesus.
But why have we made it okay and part of the norm that we crash at 2, 3 in the afternoon?
Right.
Why has that become an acceptable thing? If your computer is not working right and sluggish, you say, well, there's something wrong here.
Right.
There's I just turned this on a couple hours ago. There's no reason why my computer should be acting sluggish right now. The same goes for our bodies, and the same goes for what we're doing.
Right.
So why have we made it okay?
I don't know.
Is it just because so many people are experiencing it where it becomes the norm, and it's like, well, look, Dr. Gonzalez feels tired at 1 in the afternoon, and he's a guy he's a doctor.
Right.
So if I feel tired, that's totally normal.
Right. I don't know when, and I've said this to you, I don't know when, I don't know how we got to this disease state in this country. And it's not just this country, it's all over. But I travel a lot, and I do look at how one of my biggest passions about traveling is looking at other cultures and looking at how other cultures live. And there are stark differences between the American culture and, let's say, the Japanese culture. Even though they're also very hurried and all that stuff, it's a different thing. There's that mindfulness that I keep telling you about, and that mindfulness that I teach, and why we created LifeMod, because we've gotten so used to being tired at 2 in the afternoon, and I don't know when it happened, and I don't know why it happened. But
I know why I'm tired today at 2 in the afternoon.
Right.
I'm tired because I had nothing to eat today.
Oh, well, that's not good.
But I know why.
Yeah, that's right.
I was on the go, and I didn't have a second to sit down and eat something. But I haven't had coffee because I cut coffee out. Because the second I would feel sluggish, I would drink coffee, and I'd feel great for about 30 minutes, and then I would crash again.
And then we crash.
So I'm trying to modify my diet and figure out what works and what doesn't for me. But today I feel tired because I haven't really ate much.
Right.
That's a normal tired. But if you're eating and you still feel tired, there's a problem.
There's a problem. And again, I don't know when it happened. That was a great question because I've asked that and we've talked about this on other podcast shows. I don't know what happened and when it happened, but I will tell you that that's not how we're supposed to be. This is not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to be an efficient machine that's full of energy, that can go on intermittent fasts and feel okay and not crash at 2 or 3 in the morning. 2 or 3 in the afternoon. We can go back to how we're supposed to be. That efficient machine, all we have to do is learn about it, learn about ourselves, and feed it the right things. And I will tell you, diet is one of the biggest things that has to do with how you feel. So if we can fix and we can look at what you're eating and how you're eating, you might just be a completely different person.
On that note, we'll wrap it up for this week. How could people get in touch with you? If people want to email you and they want to get in touch with you and they want to find out more about LifeMod,
sure.
What can they do?
You can look us up online. We are www.lifemod.com, all one word, LifeMod, LIFEMOD. Or you can find our phone number there. Or you can also email us and drop a line at info@lifemod.com.
Yeah, let Dr. Gonzalez know, what you think of this and what your story is. We definitely want to hear from you. We want to hear your stories and ways that you've changed your life. If you're a LifeMod member, we want to hear from you also. And people that are thinking about this and that are on the fence, send us your email so we could talk about this on the air because I'm sure many of you have some great questions.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you guys.
And that's it for this week, guys. Take care.